Mr. Speaker, the gentleman just said that these tariffs are harmful to our economy, to working families in this country, and he could work with us right now to do something about it. We could bring a bill to the floor. We could bring an amendment to the floor, and we could block them. We could stop them. And the gentleman said he's working in a bipartisan way to try to deal with this issue. It's funny, but that this working group that they've all agreed on is just a Republican working group. Democrats are not part of it. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a crazy way to be bipartisan. And then he says that that you get this great deal about in terms of when we can next be able to have a vote on this stuff. They moved the deadline from the end of March to the end of January. That's 4 months from now. And then what's going to happen in 4 months? I'm going to tell you what's going to happen in 4 months. You got to get a rule that comes to the floor that will extend the prohibition on us being able to debate any kind of tariff legislation to be able to have a debate and an up or down vote. All I can say is, where I come from, Massachusetts, we call that being a cheap date, because I don't think you got very much, to be honest with you. And meanwhile, the American consumer, the American people are going to suffer with higher prices as a result of these tariffs. And Mr. Speaker, I'd like to yield 3 minutes to the gentleman from California, Mr. Panetta, who will speak on this topic.
Thank you, Ranking Member.
Gentleman from California is recognized for 3 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Ranking Member McGovern. I rise in opposition to the previous question, which includes a detrimental and damaging provision that abdicates, that gives up, that capitulates Congress's constitutional authority over this administration's disastrous tariff policy. Look, I think we all know Article 1, Section 8, Clause 3 of our Constitution clearly states that Congress has purview over foreign commerce. Now more than ever, with the high prices that Americans are experiencing, our communities, our constituents in this country needs us. They want us. They demand us to reclaim our constitutional powers over trade and fulfill our responsibilities as a check, as a balance over this executive branch. Now, this administration's incoherent, inconsistent, and incompetent tariff policy is causing Americans to get crushed by high prices. People and businesses who don't have the margins to survive these tariff policies, who don't have access to the Oval Office to cut a backroom deal for relief. These are people and producers that are having to personally pay the high prices that are directly being affected by the high costs. Now, the tariffs not only have caused high prices, they've caused uncertainty that's destroyed what was once a strong jobs market. When it comes to manufacturing, it's getting tanked as the cost of inputs are increasing and markets are becoming impossible to predict. Diplomatically, the president's tariff policy is causing consternation amongst our biggest trading partners and our allies and contributing to diplomatic crises. Legally, the president's tariffs are hanging by a thread after a federal court found that their claims of emergency power is dubious at best. So the reality is that the president's trade policy that are based on his 40-year fetish for tariffs is bad for Americans, is bad for American foreign policy, and it's bad for the American Constitution. And for what? Details of any trade deals remain fuzzy and unenforceable, and there's an unstable dynamic that he's creating in which markets either swing wildly or fail to react, expecting the president to chicken out. Yet in the 119th Congress, this majority is allowing this president to not just bulldoze over the well-being of our constituents. Speaker Johnson is allowing the president to run roughshod over the Constitution, our constitutional authority. Now more than ever, with these high prices, our communities, our constituents need us to reclaim these constitutional powers over trade, and yes, live up to our responsibilities as an Article 1 branch of our government. It's time to repeal these various tariff powers that Congress has granted the executive branch over the past few decades. And I'm not just talking about IEEPA, but also the many other sections that we've afforded the president. Because of those authorities that the president is using capriciously, he's using whimsically to impose his tariffs, which are causing a great damage to our economy, and they are creating a crisis with these high costs that all of us are facing. That's why, Mr. Speaker, Congress has the purview over trade. Thank you. That's exactly why Congress that has the purview over trade should defend that jurisdiction, should defend our independence, and we should defend our duty to the American public. It's our job. It's our responsibility. And let me tell you, that is the least we can do for our country, as a Congress, and for our constituents. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield back.
Gentlemen,